Welcome to the Bolden Experience Podcast, another episode. I am your host, the amazing bold Dr. Deontay Bolden. This is an amazing episode that I'm just so excited about you all today because we're dealing with two bold storytellers. And I'm excited to hear their stories and share more of their stories, their bold stories with you all. But y'all know how we do every time here on the Bolden Experience Podcast, where boldness continues to thrive here, but also where your difference makes a difference and where boldness meets purpose. So we got to start out with prayer because we got to invite God in because we're going to have a great time today. So Father God, we just thank you for this episode on today, Father God, that you would just continue to move through these stories, that someone today will realize that their story matters. Father God, we ask that as we continue to talk to these bold storytellers today, that they will continue to push their testimonies forward, that people will be inspired by their journey and realize that if they can do it, the same God that did it for them is the same God that can continue to do it for me. Lord, we thank you for the inspiration that's coming from this episode today and the many lives that it's going to touch on their bold journey, on their start to their bold journey. It's in your Son, Christ Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen. I really felt that prayer on today, and I hope that you did as well. You know, we're going to go ahead and get started with our bold beginnings before we introduce our first guest of today. And y'all know what bold beginnings is. It's where I come up with a quote or see something that really inspires me that I can share with you as well, so you can be inspired on your bold journey. So today's bold beginning is, I was created for such a time as this, so I will rise, speak, and build boldly. This was inspired by Esther 4:14, and I actually saw this on social media the other day, and I said this means something because there's someone somewhere that feels like that they weren't created to be here on this earth to do great things, and I want to inspire you to be able to understand that you were created for such a time like as this. There's so much going on in the world right now and so much heaviness that you have to understand that you were created for a time like this. So if you need to write that book, write it. If you need to put out that song, put it out. If you just need to put out anything to encourage someone else, do it now because you were created for such a time as this divine time right now. And let me tell y'all, we need to make sure that we are encouraging people with our art right now, creativity, because if we really want to inspire some people right now, it's time to put that pen to the paper and put that creativity out. So I hope that encourages you to walk in courage, walk in boldness, and understand that your authenticity matters for a time such as this right now. So I hope that bold beginnings inspired you all. Y'all know I like to always share a quote or piece that I really, really have been inspired by. And I said, I got to make sure I come on the Bolden Experience Podcast and share that with y'all. So with that, y'all know we're going to go move right on into our first guest today because I don't like to waste no time. I like to really get into the meat of what we do behind the bold here. We have two amazing men today who are bold storytellers that are ready to share their journey with you and be inspired. And our first guest today, I want to read a little bit of his resume because we're about to talk about him today because he is an amazing guy that has definitely inspired me. He is a 17-year playwright and a bold visionary whose work has been celebrated for its honesty, faith, and power to spark conversation. Recently known for his stage production Good Grief here in Atlanta, which was amazing, and I can't wait to discuss it with him today. Johnnie has spent 2 decades crafting stories that shines light on real struggles while offering soul, hope, and healing, and he continues to inspire audiences while proving that storytelling is the boldest way to transform lives. So let's welcome the one and only 17-year playwright, Mr. Johnnie Busch.
Hello there. Thank you for having me.
Listen, I hope I did good with that introduction because,
good.
I want to make sure that I, gave you your props.
You did good. First, I want to say I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I love creatives and just to be in that creative space, and you do it very well. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm honored to just have you. When I asked you to be on here, I was like, I hope he could come on and talk to me, because everybody's on their journey and moving, and just the fact that I have you here today, it says a lot. I want you to just give a little bit of introduction to yourself on top of what I gave, so the audience can know who we are speaking to today.
Yeah, so my name is Johnnie Busch. It'll be 18 years in March of next year of me producing stage plays. Okay. Writer, director, producer, all the things. And I'm just grateful to still be in a space to create. It hasn't been easy, and I'm sure we'll get into some of those things, but I'm just blessed to be here and, taking all the lessons that I've learned over these past 17 years and putting them to use, putting them to work and having a good support system around me as well. So I'm just somebody that loves to create, loves to laugh, love to have a good time, and just inspire others and be inspired as well. So I'm just an all around guy.
And, I think the beauty of you when I met you, you meet a lot of people in this industry, but it's just your beautiful spirit that comes along with the creativity. Because when I met you, it was like I knew you for a long time. And you're just such a genuine person, because when I did go up to you, because I met you through a friend, I think I met you through Annetta, God rest her soul.
Yes.
But you meet all these different people, and some people are just really into themselves and just, and feel like that they're just on this level. But when I met you, even throughout all the years of you writing, you still remain to be such a humble person. And I think that's such a beautiful thing to, notice and continue to do. So just continue to walk into that, because I think that just truly makes you bold as well.
Thank you.
But I do want to go back to the start, because we can't talk about, your career, which we're going to get into, without talking about the start for you. Becoming a playwright, what was the beginning journey like that for you? What inspired you to just say, I want to put a pen to the paper and tell these creative stories?
So I started writing stage plays in high school.
Okay.
Right out of high school, there was this stage play competition that I entered. I wrote a one act in high school, Fayetteville, Georgia. Did not win the competition, and so it didn't discourage me. I went on and took that play and wrote a full-length stage play of my own entitled A New Song in March 8th of 2008, and sold out all 3 nights. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I did it out of faith, and that's probably the reason why I started it, is because I never thought I could do it.
Right.
And that was one of the reasons why I started. And to tell you that I didn't know what I was doing, like my ticket prices were $3.
Okay.
A ticket. So, now it's like, oh, that won't fly.
Right.
But it was an amazing experience. So, I mean, of course, Tyler Perry has been one of my inspirations and role models from afar. But starting out of high school, just writing, I've always been like the class clown, trying to make everybody laugh, make the teachers laugh. And I was like, well, let me just start writing something and create. And 17 years later, I'm still doing it. And so I know this is what I'm put on this earth to do.
Absolutely. And you said $3. I was like, he was in the church mode.
Listen,
that's a church price right there.
I had no idea. And that's probably why it was so full. Because
Right.
like, we can afford it. We got it.
And we learned when we do our first one. Mine
Right.
was $10. I look back, I was like, oh, thank God for growth. Because I was like,
I'm nowhere near that now.
Right.
But,
put a price
We
on
got
your
it now.
anointing.
Right.
Right. Absolutely. So I was able to witness actually with your recent production, Good Grief. I wanted to go a little bit into that. What was the inspiration behind it? Because I thought it was clever how you did the title. And then I want to talk about your style of writing as well. Because I remember when I knew what you did, I was like, how is he doing it? And I couldn't figure it out. And I love your style and your uniqueness and boldness in what you do. So give us a little bit of, your latest stage production, Good Grief.
So I'll talk about the meaning first and then the style. So the meaning of Good Grief, it came from my best friend that passed, which I'm sure we'll get into shortly. And it was just me trying to figure out how to deal with it, even to this day. Grief is one of those things where it's up and down, it comes and goes, you just never really know. But I was like, well, how can I put, that in a stage play? And what's different about the stage plays that I've done recently is they're parody adaptations. So they're very unique. So you've never seen anything like this before. A lot of people will say, when you come to different plays, you've never seen, but you truly have never seen anything like this before.
Right.
So the inspiration for this stage play came years ago when I went to North Carolina. A friend of mine, she was in a play of The Wiz. And, The Wiz, there's different characters, Lion, Scarecrow. And I was just sitting in the audience and I was like, well, what would it be if I have different characters from different movies or different singers all come living in one place? So this last stage play, we had characters portraying Mary J. Blige, Teddy Pendergrass, Mavis Staples, Rosie O'Donnell, Reba McEntire. They all lived in one place. Yes. And the great thing about my stories also was they stand alone. So even if I didn't have those characters, the story still stands by itself. Right. The characters are kind of what helps promote and sell the play, because you're looking at the likeness of those characters, and they all come together in one place. And so Good Grief was just, there can be some good in grief, good grief. We say it all the time, when something happens, good grief or whatever. But I thought that was a perfect title. And even down, like, sometimes you don't realize what you're doing until it's over, like even down to the emojis that we had. Like, looking back at it, like, I didn't know what it meant until after it was over, because the different emojis, you have what? Smiley face, sad face, straight face, whatever. And that just made it all make sense. Like, that's what grief is.
Right. And I love it in the music and everything. And it brought a sense of familiarity, because even in the midst of you trying to tell this story, people knew the songs, right. The Teddy Pendergrass songs and the Mary J. Blige and the Florence from the Jeffersons and all those different things. So it brought a sense of familiarity, but we also went into it not knowing what to expect. And I thought that was the brilliance of the production as well. And it was so well thought and put together. I didn't know what I was going into.
I love that though.
Yes.
And real quick, I was in the audience, which is the first time ever. So my director, the first thing I told him, I said, I want to be able to sit in the audience and enjoy the show. Right. And he made that happen. So I was sitting there watching it with everyone else, which was amazing. And I'm glad that people come and not knowing what to expect.
Yeah, and from a playwright to another playwright, I haven't been able to do that because I'm so into my head. It does. What was that experience like for you, and what was the most memorable part of just sitting?
It was terrifying.
Okay.
It was terrifying. Like, I'm literally sitting there, like, I'm letting everybody do the sound, the lights, which usually I'm in the sound booth. But there's a relief or release when you learn to trust someone and know that they got it. So I was just sitting there. I literally enjoyed myself, as time went on, of course I was sitting there nitpicking stuff that I wanted to be better. But you only have so much control. But as time went on, I was like, okay, he got it. So I can finally relax and just laugh. And even the person behind me, I was like, this play is too long. And he's like, the people are enjoying it. He was like, Busch, just relax.
Right.
We good. We're enjoying it, so you don't worry about it. If we getting up and walking out, then you worry. Right. But everyone stayed, and we're enjoying it, so relax. So.
And you're able to get that live reaction from people as well. And you know what I kind of say that's like taking your child to school for the first time, and then just knowing that you don't have any control, and you just let the baby go. So I thought that, and I noticed that when I came to your play, I was like, I need to get to that level because I want to be back and just making sure you ready for your cue, But sometimes you do. Even in this creative process, we have to trust our actors. We have to trust the people who are a part of the process.
And it allows me to focus on other things like the marketing, the promotion. So many times we just try to do so many things and we can't do it well. I want to be able to do it well. So he allowed me to focus on different things. And I was still at rehearsals, and he said I didn't have to be, but I was still there just because it was the first time it happened. So I was slowly letting go, but allowed me to do other things, which I was able to do those other things well.
Okay, well, I'm learning from you, Mr. 17-year playwright, and I've got to get into that moment. But it comes with time, but it's there. So you did mention about a friend of yours who passed. I also know his name is, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Zuri Craig, from Tyler Perry's Productions. And I've been a huge fan of Tyler Perry Productions. What was that experience like a little bit? And tell me a little bit how you all met.
So I'm not going to cry.
Okay.
So we have been friends before he passed. We were friends for 12 years. I reached out to him just on Facebook saying, hey, I loved what you do in Tyler Perry plays. And I invited him to a play that I was doing at the time entitled Grandma's House. And surprise, people in this business, they tell you they're going to do something and you're like, okay, well, yeah, I'll see it, when it happens. But surprisingly, he came. He was late. I mean, that's usually how he's late everywhere he goes. But he did come, and I was surprised. And then, like, from that day forward, we just connected. Like, he's not my brother by blood, but like even when he was here, like literally that was my brother. And we did everything together. So I often ask the question, and there's not really an answer to this question, but when people are dealing with grief, how do you live life when the person you lived it with is no longer to live it with you?
That's
so we ate together, went to stage plays, went to see Anita Baker. Like, every little, like, he probably would be here right now just over in the room just watching this today. So it's like, how do you, and that prompted the play. But Zuri was someone that was very outspoken, loved to laugh, loved to make fun of anything and everybody. And many people don't know, so they have a group, his partner, singing partners, Jeffrey Lewis, the Craig Lewis Band.
Okay.
So they sing. Many people don't know that I was their assistant for many years. We traveled together and did many things. They were on America's Got Talent, and of course Tyler Perry's plays as well. But Zuri was just a light. Everyone that knew him knew that he was a light, and it's hard to be here without him. But what just brings me comfort is knowing the good times. And one last thing I'll say is, we don't have many pictures together. We probably only have 2. And I was trying to wrap my head around it and try to figure out, like, what does that mean? And I took it as, whenever we were together, we were in the moment. That's just kind of how I had to heal myself from it. Because people, have all these pictures, which are great. And it's like, well, we only have, like, literally in 12 years, 2 pictures together. But we were around each other all the time.
Right.
But we never felt the need to take pictures because we were just in the moment. So definitely my brother.
Yes. And I think this episode even turns into helping people to deal with grief, because I actually will be sharing, a special moment at the end of this episode. But I love the fact that you said, because social media sometimes can just make people feel like, well, are y'all really close? Because there was no pictures in that, but you had your connection off of social media. And I think that brings the real authenticity of your friendship. And I do want to send my condolences to you and his family as well. And just know that he's proud of your journey and everything that you're doing. And, one of the things I realized through my journey is, when you lose someone, you can still keep their legacy alive through what you do. And you said doing the Good Grief play and so many other productions that you will be doing to continue to keep his memory alive. So continue to be strong in that. I think we could cross over to the talk of just really getting to know Johnnie, and I love the fact that we were able to talk prior to this interview to kind of shape some of the things that I want to ask you. This is something I struggle with as well, too. So I'm learning from you, Mr. Playwright, the feel and the need to feel like you have it all together. You have all the answers. Life has just really been so heavy lately. I feel the heaviness, of, seeing what's been going on in the media right now, and a lot of the things that happen in life. When you're pushed to start your creative process, and even in life in general, explain that to me, how you're able to deal with the fact that you don't have all the answers, but you want to have all the answers when things happen to you in life. Because also we could speak about your recent, experience. You were in a car accident a few years ago. Take us on that journey of not having it all figured out, but thinking that you have to.
Well, I think the first part is thinking that you don't have to have it all together. It's okay not to be okay. We hear that all the time, but it's really the truth. Take time for yourself, whatever that is, reading, listening to music, for us, maybe writing, going to get a manicure, pedicure, to the movies, like whatever it is, like daily, take time for yourself, regardless of what it looks like to someone else. Because so many times we consume ourselves with what others think about us, or what others think that is happiness to them. That's what it is for you, but this is what it is for me. I think it's important in whatever that is. If it's just sitting there eating a bowl of ice cream, if that makes you happy, get to that place. And on my journeyness to happiness and finding happiness, I never would thought that I would not be able to walk. So I was on my way to, and it was a last minute decision. I was on my way to see the play, The Preacher's Wife. It was here last year at the Alliance Theater, starring Loretta Devine and Amber Riley, the girl from Glee. So they were in so last minute. I was like, you know what, I'm going to get a ticket. Let's go. So I got in the car, went to, and I was like, well, I want to get my car washed before I go to the show. So I went through the drive-through car wash, and you know how they will oftentimes push your mirrors in,
Right.
so the equipment doesn't damage your vehicle. So I drive out the car wash, and I manually push my mirror out on my side. Everything was good. Keep in mind the mirror on the passenger side was still pushed in. Okay. So my crazy self, and when you hear the story, you can say that it's crazy. It's okay. I've released it now. But my crazy self gets on the expressway. It was stupid, I know. And I try to push the mirror out on the passenger side while on the expressway, going 70, 80 miles an hour.
Not 70.
So I, lean over, try to push it over. And so, of course, wherever your head turns is where your focus is. And so I'm looking this way, not realizing my car is going this way. So I hit the wall, that separates the highway, fractured my femur bone. And we live in a selfish world. And so it's hard to get one person to stop for you when you have an accident. I had about 4 or 5 people stop and ask me, was I okay? And call the ambulance and everything. Got on the truck, got to the hospital. Long story short, the accident was on a Sunday. I didn't get into my room until Monday. Surgery was Tuesday, birthday Wednesday, discharge Thursday, all at Grady. And so when I talk about good grief, I know what it means to have good and bad happen all at the same time.
Right.
And that's another inspiration of where it came from. So fractured my femur bone, and I started out on a walker, then crutches, then a cane, and now I can walk without any assistance. And being in the hospital, it taught me a lot about other people, but more importantly, it taught me more about myself. People were asking me for money when I was in the hospital.
Wow.
More than one person. So it just taught me a lot about, we can easily focus on other people, but that's why I say I take it off them. I learned more about myself because myself is who I can control, not so much anybody else. And so, yes, it was hurtful. But how to navigate and who to get close to and who you thought you were close to. And it was definitely a wake up call. It was a testimony. I was in a very, very dark place, didn't post on social media for months. And then when I came back, people were like, where were you? But I didn't want to talk about it until I had something to say about it.
Right. Yes. And, even in our lowest moments, it teaches us who's truly for us, who's riding with us, because everybody that's riding with you ain't riding for you. You know what I mean? And, God allows us to go through situations sometimes to take a look at, and I put it in my book, Purpose Pains, so you could be able to see more of who is around you. Because a lot of times we're always on the go and we think that people are, our friends and, we think we have a solid team of people around us. But it's till we get to that situation where we really need people, where we try to see people's true intentions with that. And you had already answered my question because I was like, what did you learn in that time period? Because you had a week and I'm quite sure your faith was definitely tested as well. And you speak freely about your relationship with God, and your faith, how has faith really shaped your career as far as, because it's different from us, when we are truly, Christians and disciples of Christ, how we navigate in this industry. Can you briefly tell me like the impact of your relationship with God and how it's helped you career-wise?
So faith is all I have. And when it's all you have, it's all you've got, it's all you need. I mean, I've broken down plenty of times during the process of good grief. And God probably like, why are you crying again? Like, I told you, I got you. I got it. Like, I was crying the night of like 10 minutes before the curtains open, I'm back there just weeping. Like, he said, I got you. I got it. And it goes back to what I said earlier about finding that time, finding that quiet time to get with yourself for a moment and know that there is a reason why you're still here. It's the reason why you're still doing what you're still doing. And I often say, like, I'm Johnnie Busch everywhere I go. Like, I'm actually, and I often say, like, I'm really an introvert. Like,
I am too.
I'm an introvert with extroverted tendencies. That's how I like to say. Like, I can be an extrovert, but like, I'm really an introvert. Like, I can sit in a room by myself and not talk to a soul. And that probably comes from me having 7 sisters, and I'm the only boy. So I was forced to play with things on my own, toys and make up imaginary things, and not having the need to have someone else there to, play with or make me feel a certain way. But God is amazing. I would not be here without him. And
Yeah, go easy on the cry now, because that cry, like, I tell people, like, as a playwright, you go through so much behind the scenes trying to put a vision together that God is giving you. And when you finally see it come together in life on the stage, and you're able to have that moment, like, this is the moment that we were leading up to. Like, it's them tears mean something.
But my cry is ugly. Like,
okay.
It's real. Your cry may not be ugly. Like, my cry is
ugly cry.
Like lip star. Like, my cry is, and the cast love when I cry because they just want to make fun of me. They promote me to cry, but I try not to.
Yeah, but show those emotions. It's nothing wrong with that. You have a lot to be grateful for. And then just going to your play and just seeing your story and not knowing that you were in an accident. I was just so blessed that you were able to share that moment, especially when something happens to you in life and you're not ashamed to talk about it. You're able to use that as your testimony to maybe inspire other people. But before your play started, I was just over there about to bawl and cry, just looking at the slideshow that you put together. And I was like, I did not know this, because we're, slowly we have connected. And even during that process, I think we were still getting to know each other. But I just appreciate, your vulnerability and your transparency, and everything that you do. And I think that just makes you a bold individual. So
I'm glad you came to the show.
Absolutely.
And what was I getting ready to say? And everything was intentional, like in the slideshow. Like, nothing just happened, and I was on promotion tour, like, for different churches, and I said I didn't know what the accident meant until that night. Like, that night is when I was like, okay, this is why I'm still here, for stories like that, and many people that have inboxed me and told me stories of how the play helped. Like, I had to go through that in order to get to that night.
Right, absolutely, and it was brilliant. I still talk about. I don't talk about many plays because, like I said, everybody think they're a playwright. We ain't gonna go into that, but I've been to some shows, and I'm like, God bless you, but
I do the best I can. I mean, of course, I wasn't happy with certain things, and and y'all probably would never know. But I do the best I can, and my cast, everyone would tell you they stick with me because my heart is in the right place.
Right. And that's the beauty of that as well, when your heart is in the right place.
They say yes before they even get the script. Every single person just says yes before even reading the script. And that just speaks volumes on my character, and I try to treat people right and be a man of my word and do what I say that I'm going to do.
And that brings a good point, because people lose their integrity in the process. You've been doing this for 17 years, still continuing to keep your character intact and integrity, because let's just be honest, a lot of people here in Atlanta don't have integrity and character. People just want to get what they want to get done and get what they need to get from you, and they don't try to maintain the person behind the creative art. People are looking at you. People are looking at your character. When you say you're going to do something, when you say you're going to pay people, when you say you're going to come through and do those things, that's important. And that just speaks volumes about your character when people just want to, because people do that with me as well too. They're like, anything I'll drop for you. And I don't take that lightly, because that just shows that people really value what I do, but value me as an individual. So when you said that, I'm just so glad that you said that on this podcast, because that's been my conversation conversation with me and a couple of my playwright friends. I'm like,
Right.
does people have integrity anymore and character? Do people care about, honesty and loyalty?
And I've heard horror stories of my actors that would tell me, hey, this person didn't treat them right, or do that or do this. And I often tell them, like, there's many things that you could say about me or anybody, but you will never say that Johnny didn't treat you right.
Right.
You can say many things, but you will never say that Johnny did not treat me fairly or treat me right. And that's just what I stand on.
Yes, and I think that's amazing. Continue to keep that. And bold ones, keep your integrity in check and make sure that you continue to be a person of character, loyalty, and integrity. That is so important with that, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that. So what's some of the things that annoy Johnny? Like, I know you got your love for people as a creative, but what's something that we just want to make sure we don't do?
Like pet peeves?
Yeah, do you have pet peeves? Even like creative wise or personally?
This sounds so bad, but I promise you it's not as bad as it seems. I don't like repeating myself.
Okay, I'm like that too.
And when I'm sorry, this sounds so bad of me. I don't like being cut off. I like to finish my thought.
Okay.
That's it.
That is the habit that I do have sometimes when I'm passionate about something.
You haven't did it. But sometimes, like, I see myself doing it too. So I try to be mindful. But yeah.
I only do it when I'm really passionate about something or I'm frustrated, and then you trying to make your point. I'm like, my other thought comes in process. And I'm like, let me get that before I forget what I'm about to say. So I'm learning that, but God's working on me with that. But that's definitely something as well. What makes Johnnie Busch bold?
The name. Again, that's all I have. That's all I got. I'm bold in everything, in every area of my life. But it wasn't easy. I didn't just start this way. Had many insecurities and just trying to get it all right and fight and keep it all together. I'm bold because I choose to be. I'm bold because it's not easy, but I'm trying to make it the best I can. Being bold takes a lot of courage, a lot of faith, and sometimes you will be bold alone, but you have to be okay with that and know that your steps are ordered and continue to be bold.
Absolutely. If you could work with 3 actors, well-known actors, and put them in a Johnnie Busch stage production, who would be the top 3 actors?
So they're well known to me, and Latrice Pace. Okay. She is a part of the legendary group, the Anointed Pace Sisters. Okay. I would love to want to work with her. Mm-hmm. I would love to want to work with Chandra Corelli, who is a friend of mine, also has been in several of Tyler Perry's stage plays.
The one who does the shimmy?
Yes, the one that always does. Yes. And the last person probably would be, I like Keke Palmer.
I love her personality.
Yeah. I think she would be good in something that I would do.
She's a friend of mine's in my head because I'm like, every time she says something, I'm like, I like her. I like when she makes her point.
I like Keke. Yeah.
Awesome. So we're gonna play a little wrap up before we wrap up, and then I'll give you time to promote your social media. But we have I call it Bold Playwrights Improv. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you a one word, and then you're going to have 10 seconds to create a scene with it. So when I say a scene, just like a thought, like how you would put it together.
A thought or synopsis.
Based on that one word.
Okay.
And if you want to get technical, you could add a little actors in there or something like that. But we'll just stick to, I give you a word.
I'm just saying what it means, or just whatever I feel. Okay.
Yes. All right. I'm going to give you the instructions with it.
Okay.
So the first one is Faith. Give us a bold one-liner from a character about faith. If you had to be in front of a script and I said Faith, and you have a character, give me one liner that you would throw away to the audience about
when faith is all you've got, faith is all you need.
Okay. Faith is all you got. Okay, I like that. All right. So the second one is love. Pitch me a 5-second scene about love that you would create.
I probably would say it probably would be a scene with no words.
Okay.
And it would be a scene where it's just shown and not said.
Through action.
So, yeah, through action, through a hug, through a pat on the forehead or a pat on the back. So that would be a scene with no words. But you will be able to see it because that's what love is.
I like that, like a silent film.
I'm proud of myself. That was actually pretty good.
That is. I was like, I like that. All right. Grief. What is the boldest stage direction you would give to an actor to show grief on stage without words?
Probably tapping into the emotion, because a lot of times when we think of grief or we think of a dramatic scene, we automatically think of tears. Mm-hmm. But sometimes what's even more powerful is when you know how to hold back the tears, and when you don't have any tears. So I probably would say reach into your emotions and let that speak volumes.
Okay.
That speak bigger than the actual words on the page.
That's some good stage directions right there, Mr. Director. And the last one is boldness. Give me a bold closing line for a play. Say, for instance, the play is called Boldness Wins. Give me a bold closing line for that affects boldness, or using the word boldness.
Be bold because you have no other choice.
Be bold because you have no other choice. All right. I like this, Mr. Johnnie Busch. All right. So where can people find you, what we have going on? Go ahead and plug in your social media. Tell everybody where they can find you.
So I am on Facebook only. That's it. Just Facebook, Johnnie Busch, JOHNNIE, BUSCH. And I will be premiering Good Grief again sometime next year, probably March or April of next year. And what else? I'm going to release my first cookbook that will be coming out very soon. First time I've actually ever talked about it. And it's called Get Out of My Kitchen and Get Into Yours. So that's the title. But yeah, all things Johnnie Busch is on Facebook. Good Grief coming back. Stay tuned to that. Cookbook coming out soon. Yeah.
Are you on Instagram?
No, it's just Facebook. Oh, okay. I got it. People have been telling me that I need to, so I'm working on that, and TikTok and all that stuff.
It's the introvert in you. That's all right.
Well, it's that, and I'm an old soul, so I'm trying.
No, it's fine. Take your time. It took me a while. I just got a TikTok, and TikTok's been out for years. I just slowly get on things, and I do that. Yeah. But I do want to make an official announcement before we actually go off of here, and I bring in on my next bold guest. This is for you. I would like to invite you to be one of my bold honorees at the Bolden Awards next year.
Thank you.
Coming and experiencing your creativity and your boldness to playwriting. If you want to open it, I will give you opportunity to read and accept if you do. Even if you don't, ticket. I'm not going to kick you off the Bolden Experience Podcast.
I got the golden ticket, y'all.
Yes. Cool. So you can read it briefly to let everybody know.
Okay. So, Johnny, it is with great honor that the Bolden Awards 2.0 invites you to be one of our Bolden honorees, where boldness meets greatness. Your exceptional creativity deserves the prestigious honor. You will receive the Bold Visionary Award, honoring bold visionaries who turn their bold ideas into reality. And he signed it, y'all. Thank you.
And
I'm going to keep this.
Do you accept?
Of course, I
Absolutely. Well, it'll be on May the 23rd of 2026, and you'll be one of my honorees.
The day after my birthday. My birthday is May 22nd.
Awesome. So that's a great birthday present. We'll be sending you all the information as well. I thought you were definitely deserving of this honor. 17 years, I think someone needs to give you your flowers, because it's not easy being in an industry like this, and you do it exceptionally well, sir. So I just want to thank you for being here. So thank you so much for being here. Anything, last words you want to give to any of the bold ones that are listening or watching this podcast?
I don't have really much to say. The only thing I'll say is keep going because it gets better. Just keep going.
Just keep going. And we're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, Johnny. And we'll see you at the Bolden Awards 2.0. Y'all stay tuned, because we'll be back with another bold one, a bold storyteller coming your way. And we are back at the Bolden Experience Podcast. We just had one amazing storyteller, a Bolden honoree, just left the building. But we have another bold storyteller here today that I just was inspired by this guy's story when I saw him on social media and we connected. I love how he is so transparent about his life and his experiences and what he's overcome. And I'm going to read a little bit of his bio and we're going to get right into it because this brother is an amazing guy and I'm so honored to know him as an individual. He's originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, moved to Atlanta to chase new opportunities after facing obstacles of employment due to his criminal record. He purchased a camera in 2014, taught himself videography, YouTube, began hustling at events, handing out his business cards, and building clientele and earning and later winning him a Videographer of the Year in Atlanta at the Hip Hop Awards in 2018. He has 15 mixtapes, 3 albums, and ran 2 record labels in Indiana. And he's here at the Bolden Experience Podcast, you all, Mr. Rick Mystro Holcomb Jr. How are you, buddy?
I'm blessed.
Did I pronounce your name?
Well, my last name is pronounced Holcomb.
Holcomb.
But most people know me as Mystro. A lot of people in Georgia don't even know my government name.
Okay.
But I had a PR firm. They working with me because I got a book coming out. And they're like, you need to, since your real name is going to be on the book, you need to start getting your real name out there.
Okay.
So now people just now finding out after 15 years my government is Rick, but they know me as Mystro.
Okay. So what do you prefer me to call you today?
Mystro.
Mystro.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So I want to make sure
today.
I call you Mystro. So how is it being on the Bolden Experience Podcast, and how is tell the viewers a little bit more about who you are as an entertainer.
Well, as far as being on this, I feel blessed at any opportunity I get coming from where I'm from, and there's things I have to go to even get to this process to be out of survival mode. I did a lot in Indiana, and I felt like it got to the point where I need to get out of there and use my talent. I was hustling. I was a drug dealer. I'm a 3-time felon, 12 misdemeanors. I couldn't stay out of trouble. And it's like once you get in a certain amount of trouble, it just follows you. Mm-hmm. Even though I was trying to get out of trouble, stuff I did in the past kept catching up with me. So somebody said, man, you're going to have to just move to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Get away, get around some new people, because they was like, it's like sooner or later they're going to keep you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I keep going to jail. I keep getting out. But I'm like, sooner or later I'm going to do something or something happen. I might not get out or I might die. So I was like, I got to save my money and get to Atlanta. I kept saying that. And it took 3 times. The first time I saved up the money, I think my engine blew. Because I was like, I'm just trying to get as much money. So I ended up having to get a whole nother car with that money. So I couldn't leave. The second time I saved the money, I ended up getting robbed at gunpoint. And somebody broke into my house and robbed me. So I was like, dang, I can't get out of here. You feel me? The third time I got the money, I was gone. You feel me? And I never looked back. 2010, I came to Atlanta. I was like, I'm going to use my creativity to do something. They didn't really want to hire me because of my record. So I was like, I'm going to have to create a business. So I had to just expand my mind. You feel me? And I think, thank God he gave me a mind to be that creative, to create multiple jobs for myself where nobody would hire me. So that's kind of where it took off.
Wow, boldness. That's a testimony in itself. You just came right in with it, and that's amazing. And sometimes you got to move to make bolder moves.
Exactly.
And move from an area of familiarity to a place where you just really don't know and build. And I think that's the beauty of your story, because when I saw your story, I was like, I definitely want to talk to this guy, because I think that's just an amazing, what people tend to run away from, you're running to and using as your superpower to inspire other people to be able to overcome their obstacles. What was that turning point for you when you were just like, you know what, I'm going to leave all of this behind. I really want to change my life. Was there a specific turning point that really just turned your mind to be able to say, hey?
Yeah, I had got robbed at gunpoint for a couple ounces. And me and my son, me and her mother wasn't together, so I would have him on the weekends. So every weekend I would plan something for him, you feel me? And I just cut off everything else every weekend, because I was like, it's not about the amount of time I get, it's the quality of time I get with him. So that Saturday and Sunday, I wanted to do as much stuff as possible. So they robbed me on a Friday, and they got 2 ounces, they got my chain, and one of my phones. And my guys was like, the next day, they was like, yo, we got to find them, you feel me? Like, they on the east side somewhere, you know what I'm saying? We post up long enough, we'll run into them, you feel me? And I was like, I'm supposed to get my son in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he's looking forward to this. I was like, nah, bro. They was like, what you talking about? And I was like, nah, we not looking for them dudes. I was like, I'm out, bro. I was like, I got the money. I was like, I'm moving to Atlanta. They was like, what? I was like, nah, we not finding them dudes. Let them go. They was like, man, you getting soft? I'm like, I guess I'm getting soft.
What was it about Atlanta that made you just pick this specific place? Because, of course, you were doing a lot of great things in Indiana, too, as well. What made you select Atlanta?
Well, I was doing good in music, and towards I had 2 songs on the radio, and I was actually rapping my real life. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was fake. I was really outside. So, you know what I'm saying? I was doing good in the music, but they said I need to move to a bigger market if I want to grow a fan base. And I was like, well, I want to continue making music, but also want to start a business. And I was like, at that time, 2010, where else to go for music and business is Atlanta, the Black people Mecca. I heard like entrepreneurs was coming down here and making businesses and getting their thing going, more support. So I was like, that's where I need to go. I'm gonna let all this go. And I spent the best 2 days with my son. We hung out, went to McDonald's. I bought him some clothes. I bought a new jacket. And I was like, I'm getting out of here. And I did. Nobody believed me. My customers, I told them, like, y'all gonna have to find a new plug. Because I was the DVD man, the pill man, and the weed man. So I had built a little empire just in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like hood rich. I called everybody and was like, nah, I'm done. I'm gone. You feel me? And I hadn't really reconnected with God just yet. But that was a step to get me to that level, just getting away from that environment, that circle, you feel me? And I realized later on that God had a bigger plan for my life.
Absolutely. And you're here today. Look at you. Definitely being an inspiration. I know you build your brand on, telling your truth and stories in an industry that can be so artificial sometimes. How do you determine who's real, if someone who's just performing and putting on versus someone who is truly authentic and being real? Like, how do you decipher that in this industry?
My favorite album title is a title by a Meek Mill album. It's called Gift of Discernment. And it's a picture of a sheep taking off his like a stuffed head. Underneath it's a wolf. And I think God gave me a good gift of discernment. You know what I'm saying? Like and I can tell like you have it too. You know what I'm saying? You probably can read energies, and I think that's what's been able to help me because the entertainment, especially the music game, it's real fake, it's real fickle, it's really cutthroat. So you deal with a lot of people when you moving around in the city. You know what I'm saying? I also won 2018 Hustler of the Year because I was running a custom T-shirt shop that I built while shooting music videos all over Georgia and all kind of stuff, events and everything. So they gave me Hustler of the Year, and then the next year they gave me Videographer of the Year. So, but I was meeting so many people with like bad energy, and I was like, what is this? Like, I don't, these are not people I really want to be around, want to work with. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling their spirit. And that's on the music side. Now on the film side, I feel like the energy was better. You know what I'm saying? When people hire me for like events, I would do weddings, or I would do birthdays, or churches hired me to like they have a revival and they like somebody preaching for like 3 days, hire me. So the camera in that aspect took me to like better energy, but the music game down here, it's cutthroat. It's nasty.
Everybody wants to do it. Everybody wants to be a part of it, and it has its things. Now, I also know that you speak a lot about your family and your children and things like that. How has that really shaped your Bold Foundation? I know it probably most likely keeps you focused because you have people who look up to you and depend on you. But how has your family, because you're very vocal about it and you talked about it earlier, how have they shaped your Bold Foundation and helped you to really excel in your career?
I think my son is my inspiration because, like I said, that day, I was like, I got to go get my son. You see what I mean? I was like, I think he was my biggest inspiration because he gave me a reason to get out the streets. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to be a good father. And even though I found out later on that he wasn't even mine, I feel like God still, he was a blessing. Because if he didn't come around, I probably would have just found them dudes and you wouldn't talk to me today. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't have the reason. I was like, well, I don't got nothing else to do today. You know what I'm saying? Let's go find them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think God gave me my son, and we still have a cool relationship. I found out he wasn't mine at 13.
Oh, wow.
But he's 19 now, and he's still, you know what I'm saying? He's still a good kid. You know what I'm saying? He going through some stuff, but I always got his back. And now I got a 2-year-old daughter too, who's my new inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So I think it's important. I think kids, for me, I can't speak for everybody, but kids give you a reason to just keep going.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? For me, just give me a reason to just try harder And also, I done been through so much. I got a bevy of knowledge to teach them how not to fall into the same traps I did. Because my parents actually were religious, but they were so religious they didn't teach me nothing about life. They didn't teach me about snake women that you might meet or fake friends. Just life skills. They was like, you better memorize Genesis. That's what mainly they taught me, like Bible stuff, but no life skills. So I got so much life skills from even like being locked up 12 times. So many stories, and I'm like, okay, I can put. That's why my son he's excelling because he actually listened to the tools I'm giving him. Like, I'm telling you, go this way, it's better. You know what I'm saying? And he know because I've been through it. So that's how I look at it. It's a blessing.
And I think that's a testament to your character and boldness too. The fact that he's not yours, but you still treat him as such. I want to commend you for that. I feel like men, especially men of color, we don't get a lot of praise and flowers for what we do because society has always put a negative stain on who we are as men, as black men. So I just want to commend you for that, for being a step up, man, in that aspect. And I think that just shows your brilliance. But I know you're also into, of course, like the videography, YouTube, and the videos and things like that. In a place in a society now where visibility and views and, you being the next social media, or TikTok star, how do you maintain your authenticity in such an industry where you have to put on to get on? You know what I mean? How do you maintain your authenticity, or what advice would you give to someone to maintain their authenticity in a society where social media is just how many views and clicks, and I'm gonna do this for the likes or whatever?
Well, thankfully, I think a lot of that is based on money. And thankfully, I'm not in a position where I'm chasing money like that. I think people will be a fake character to get more views, to get more ads on a video. And of course, I made money off my YouTube channel, but I made it being myself. And I remember telling somebody one time, if you don't fit in, you don't got no choice but to stand out. I see a lot of people doing certain things, and I don't really fit in with them. And so when I do myself, it kind of just isolates me because I'm honest, I'm loyal, I'm God-fearing. There's certain stuff I just not gonna do. And that separates me from some people in this entertainment industry, and I just don't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't need the money from this. I'm like, if I can't do it my way, I just won't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, authenticity, I think that cuts through, actually, if you think about it. Because if you think about, like, it's like 3,000 rappers that sound the same. And then you get one that sounds different, you know what I'm saying, that kind of cut through. Like when Eminem came, nobody sounded like that. You know what I'm saying? Or a Ludacris, or you know what I'm saying? Like certain people don't sound like 1,000 other people. You can't do what J. Cole does, right? Because only J. Cole, and you can't just be a Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Only he can be that. That authenticity, I think a lot of people need to realize that in this entertainment. Stop trying to copy what everybody else do and really be your authentic self.
Right.
I think you really will get farther.
Yeah. And that's what stands out now. So what makes Mystro bold?
I just always felt like I never had nothing to lose. I feel like I just had to go for it. I didn't want to stay just a hustler. And I'll tell you my reason why. The exact day I came back to God, when I came down here, I was trying to do the music, and I was trying to do the music, and if that didn't work, start a business. But nobody still wouldn't hire me because of my record. So I found myself down here back selling drugs. I was still selling drugs for 2 years and CDs out front of the liquor store when I first came to Georgia. And I was like, man, I tried to get away from this life, but they still not trying to hire me. So I'm back in this life in a new city. And so I had planned on robbing a gas station. I went and got a sawed-off shotgun. I went and got a mask. And then I got another gun just in case something went wrong with the sawed-off. I was like, this revolver gonna work. And so I was plotting on a gas station, and on the day before I was supposed to rob it, I prayed and asked God. I was like, if you got something better for me, tell me now, because I'm about to either come up or I'm about to go to jail. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm out of money, and I don't know. And so I went to sleep. The next morning, my phone rang, and it was a job saying, could I start today?
Wow.
I promise on everything. And that's when I renewed my faith in God. This was 2012. And when that happened, it was only $8 an hour, but I'm a hustler. That little bit, I can work with it. I make something out of that $8 an hour. And it's like I think it's APL something. It's like a little warehouse type place. Yeah, and I was in there grinding it out. And then I started going to church down the street after that. And then as I kept going to church, my relationship with God started to flourish. I started to get more in tune with it, and I started to put him more at the top of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been amazing. It's been amazing ever since.
That is so bold. Do you do speaking events?
My PR people want me to do it. When my book come out in
powerful.
December, they said they want to see if we could set up some stuff where I can go just tell my story, because I really want to inspire these young dudes. Because once you get in that trap or keep going to jail, it's times like you feel like an animal.
Right.
They don't want to hire you. Then I got to Georgia, they didn't want to give me an apartment because of my record. So I ended up getting a fraud case later because I used my brother's ID to get the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just trying to live. My car was in somebody's name because my license I got suspended when I was 24, got suspended for life. So I was like, people just like, they wrote me off. They was like, he's just gonna be a jailbird or crash out. But it's because the system, once you get in it, it's like they make it hard for you to come out. I wanted to work. I wanted a job, but they just wouldn't give me one. So I'm forced. But I feel like if I can get my book to the right young men, they'll be like, I'll tell them like it's hard to get out that trap, but I'm proof it's possible. Right. You have to be real creative.
We gotta talk because I love your story, and I think so many young men and women as well need to hear your story. So we gotta definitely talk because I have a good opportunity for you.
I appreciate any opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna play it like a little small short game. I call it Lights, Camera, and Boldness.
Okay.
I kind of want to just pick the mind of Mystro to see how you would set up in a situation or scenario as this. All right. So I'll throw out a scenario and you answer quickly with boldness. All right. Okay. Someone cancels last minute at a shoot. What's your plan, bold B?
Have I already been paid?
Yeah.
I'm the photographer shooting them, right?
Yes.
Because that's how it is. Deposits don't get refunded around here.
Okay. Hey.
So, and if I got the space already rented out, and it's been times where I call somebody and see if they can come fill in last minute. Like one time I did a photo shoot and I had the venue there that I was waiting. The person canceled, so I called somebody else. This dude named Rico. I was like, Rico, you got anybody that needs some pictures real quick? I'm not even gonna charge them. I'm just doing it off the luck because I've been paid, but they ain't show up. Mm-hmm. And so he sent some girl that needs some pictures, and I took pictures of her with the time that the studio gave was keep it moving.
Just call someone else in, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. You only have 30 seconds to capture Atlanta since you're new to Atlanta practically. Where are you pointing the camera and what would be the shot if you had to capture 30 seconds of Atlanta?
For me, it'd be one time I saw a dude playing a saxophone in Little 5 Points.
Okay.
And I actually took a picture. Of course, I'm a photographer also, but that's one of my favorite pictures. And Little 5 Points, that whole vibe is dope to me. I used to go down there and sell CDs in a little cut. I had my boombox playing my music. David Banner bought one of my CDs. Jeezy's producer bought one of my CDs. And I know you've been to Little 5 Points. You know the vibes.
I know that.
Yeah, I love that.
That's over there by the winery, right? The city winery?
Is that called the winery? I don't know.
I might be in the wrong area. I'm still learning.
You know where the Vortex is? The restaurant, the Vortex, or Young Man's Daughter?
Yeah.
Or Savage Pizza? Over there off of Moreland.
Okay, now you said Moreland. I know what you're talking about.
Man, I got to take you over there and peep the vibes because that's where all the creators gather. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really can just post up and make some money out there. People be out there selling their paintings. Mm-hmm. That, to me, was my favorite part when I came to Atlanta. I was like, yo, this energy, this is where I belong. I would take a picture of that area.
Okay.
Yeah.
A client says, just make me go viral, because I know sometimes as videographer, people think that you have the ability to make them go viral. What would be your response to someone who comes to you as a client, a potential client, and be like, just record this video and help me to go viral with it?
So on my YouTube channel, I have 670 videos. I went viral probably like 3 times. I would say just be authentic. And if it's good, it's going to go.
Be authentic. Last one is one thing you miss about owning a label or music, because I know you've pretty much left
transition from music to...
what's something that you miss about the music?
I miss the authenticity. I feel like back when it's like DMX, Jay-Z, Nas, I felt like artists was like a lot different. And I miss the fact of stories. Like when I got down here and saw how the music game was, it was like they didn't put no time, energy into like artist development. You don't have to have a good story. Like, as long as you look cool and can rap the same subject matter as Lil Baby, you in. You know what I'm saying? So with the way the music game is now, I don't think I I miss it. And then I got my own studio, so anytime I need therapy, which music is my therapy, I can just hop in there and make a song anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think music is missing, what it means to be authentic. And, every sound sounds so similar now, especially in the rap culture.
especially.
So go ahead and plug in your social media. Let everybody know where they can follow you, Mr. Mystro, and any services that you have, if you want to put it out there as well, so people can connect with you and your bold story.
Everybody can find everything about me on my website, www.thecreativemystro.com. Mystro is spelled Mystro. And you can just go there and check out everything I got going on. I did get inspired back in 2021. A lot went on in my life. I had some deaths, and my daughter's born, so I was inspired. I did write an album. It's coming out on my birthday, October 19th. My book, which is also took me 3 years to write, is coming out Christmas Day this year. It's called What I Know Now. It's 8 chapters with 8 life lessons that anybody can use to apply to their life for a better life. So the full title is What I Know Now, Winning the War Within. It's my autobiography. And it's all at my website, thecreativemystro.com.
All right. Well, Mystro, I want to thank you for just coming on and blessing the platform. Just like I said, when I connected with you and I saw you were trying to really get your story out there, I was like, I got to get him on the podcast. I love authentic stories like yours and bold stories like yours. Just understand that your boldness is your superpower, and don't let anybody tell you any different. Yeah, you had a history, but that was all part of God's divine plan to get you where you are today. So don't let anybody try to trick you out of thinking that, your history is going to keep you away from your purpose, because your history is actually going to help create the platform and the bold foundation for your bold purpose.
That, bro. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you being on here and sharing your story. And we got some more connecting to do, because we're going to be working together. So I'm ready because I have some ideas. With that being said, you all, I want to thank you all for definitely being a part of this Bolden Experience. Don't forget the Bolden Awards 2.0, Home Away from Home, is going to be on May the 23rd of 2026. But it's going to be a 3-day Bold Experience, you all. So May 21st is going to be the Bolding Your Story workshop, where I will be teaching you how to turn your bold story into your superpower, so you can learn how to use your story and create platforms like this at the Bolden Experience Podcast. So that's going to be on May the 21st, 2026, and that's going to be at 6 p.m. On May 22nd, we're going to have a Bolden Brunch, which is going to be a bold networking event where we actually get our honorees, speakers, and everyone together to have a bold networking experience. Then on the 22nd at 6 p.m., we have the Bolden Runway, you all. So we're going to have a Nigerian type of vibe where culture meets couture. So you all have the opportunity to be able to connect with some amazing people from Nigeria and see some amazing fashion. And then on the 23rd, y'all, the gold carpet rolls out, and we have the Bolden Awards experience. The golden carpet starts at 5 p.m. and then the award show starts at 6. You can go to www.boldnexperience.com and come and be a part of this. You're going to see Johnnie Busch, who was here earlier, and so many other amazing honorees who are going to be honored for their boldness and their brilliance. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. And tickets went on sale today for the early bird special, so you can go and get the early bird special for a low price right now. So I suggest you head over to www.theboldenexperience.com and get your tickets and secure your spot so you can be a part of the Bolden Awards 2.0. We also have some sponsorship packages on there as well. So if you would like to be a sponsor at the Bolden Awards, or you would just like to sponsor this podcast, head over to the website as well and connect with us and be a part of this, so we can promote you at the Bolden Awards and on the Bolden Experience Podcast. As far as our bold purpose pick for today, it will be the Differently Abled soundtrack. You all, if you don't know, we had a musical last year that dealt with our special needs community, and we have an amazing soundtrack on iTunes right now, Apple Music, Spotify, and all of that. So type in the word Differently Abled the musical and pull that soundtrack up and listen to it. We have songs like Short Bus, I'm Not a Monster. It's really empowering. I suggest parents to give it to to their children as well, so we can learn how to be a better human beings out here and love on those who are different from us. So check out the Differently Able soundtrack, available now on Apple Music, iTunes, and etc. As far as our Bolden shout out today, it goes to one of our Bolden honorees, Deshaun Williams. His story reminds me so much of a Mystro here. He has a book called Forging a Path to Greatness, and Deshaun is an amazing author, a motivational speaker, and just an amazing individual himself who's sharing his bold story out here. So if you get time, go to Forging a Path to Greatness, search it on Amazon. This book is amazing as he talks about growing up and being abandoned, but also finding his purpose in the midst of being abandoned and allowing that to be his bold foundation. He is going to be a Manifestation Award honoree, and he's going to be a bold speaker at the Bolden Awards because he's going to be talking about suicide prevention and ideation. So I'm excited about that as well. And you could go also on his website, or search him. He's the CEO and founder of Write Your Way LLC and Right to Stay. I think it's www.righttostay.com. So check him out. Make sure y'all follow the Bolden Experience podcast at the Bolden Experience on Instagram. Follow me as well on Instagram at Deontay Bolden Productions. If you would like to be a bold guest or a speaker, make sure you all go to www.theboldenexperience.com. Email your story. I'm attracted to stories, so it's all about what's the story behind the success for me. So it's amazing to get on there and list your accolades, but what is your story behind the success? That's what I'm looking for. And if you have an powerful story, I will bring you here to be a guest on this amazing podcast, the Bolden Experience here. My bold challenge as we close out is to do not procrastinate. Get it done. Someone somewhere else is waiting for you to get it done, and someone else needs what you have. So don't procrastinate. Get it done today. I love the Nike saying that says, just do it, right? We have so much excuses and so many excuses of why we can't do anything. And we have a person here, Mr. Mystro and Johnnie Busch, who pretty much told us today, you know what? Even though I've been through things in life, I'm still going to push forward and still get the job done because I know that God has a purpose and God has a greater purpose for you. So those who are sitting on the couch right now just listening in and procrastinating and giving excuses are useless. Let's get it done, because this time next year, you don't want to be in the same place that you are now. You want to progress. So let's get it done, y'all. With that being said, I'm going to sign out. I love you all. Be bold, be brave, and amplify your bold voice and allow the world to be able to experience your greatness. I also want to dedicate this episode today to a special someone today, my brother Jaquan L. Bolden. Jaquan LeVar Bolden is definitely my inspiration and someone who I feel like has helped to build this bold foundation of what I've created. He would have been 42, I think 41 or 42 today, but he is an amazing individual and someone who has definitely been a bold inspiration for everything I do. So happy birthday, Jaquan. I dedicate this bold episode to you today. I love you, and your greatness and boldness will never be forgotten. See y'all the next one.